AITA for not asking my girlfriend's father for permission to marry her? Originally posted by you, Watermelon Bison 12 in r. Am I the Asshole on January 20th. 23. Updated March 9th. Original post. AITA for not asking my girlfriend's father for permission to marry her? So I feel like the normal situation I read about is the opposite situation. But I personally feel I am in the right here. I, 30M, been dating my girlfriend, 29F, for 4 years now, and things have all in all been pretty good. We both don't see eye to eye politically on many things with her father, but still visit him and her mother fairly frequently around holidays, and he is friendly enough to know to not bring up politics around the both of us because we don't agree. But I digress. I've talked about proposing to my girlfriend over the past couple months and about what she wants, etc. And she mentioned she wanted me to ask her dad for permission. I was kind of taken aback by this isn't a normal thing my girlfriend would say. So I asked why. She said because it's something she would like me to do. Her sister's husband did it, and some wedding funding from him would likely be contingent on me doing this. I came back with that I wouldn't be asking another person for permission to marry her. It's an extremely outdated tradition for one. And I'm a 30-year-old person. I can do what I want to do with someone I love. I don't need anyone else's permission. She got mad and said I just needed to do it, because it's a small thing to ask for. And she wants some of the money to have a few more things at our wedding that we won't be able to afford without it. I'm continuing to stand my ground about not asking for this. AITA? Judgment. Not assholes here. Update 2 months later. Hi y'all. Original post is here. AITA didn't allow me to post my update there, so putting it here. So after reading a lot of the responses in the original thread, I decided to ask for my girlfriend's parents' blessing. I told her I was going to do it and she was very happy. We were going to visit about 2 weeks after I posted the thread, and I figured it would be a good opportunity to ask. So my fiancé went for a run one morning and I was lounging around talking with her parents. When I said I'd like to talk to them about something, they both kind of smiled like they knew what I was going to say. And immediately her dad says, "Let's go talk in the garage." So him and I go out there and I phrase it like some people told me to, "I want to marry your daughter and I'm letting you know that I plan to propose because I love her. I also want to get your blessing because I respect you and your wife." He was pleased with the answer and smiled and gave his approval for me to propose. All I needed. The proposal went great about a month later. Romantic and just like I had planned. My fiancé loved it. So this past Sunday we were discussing venues and the ceremony and my fiancé casually said, "Well, Dad wants us to get married in this church so we'll be doing it here." Now I'm not religious and I wouldn't mind getting married in a church. But again, why does his opinion matter for our wedding? So I asked, "Anything else your dad wants for our wedding?" And then said we also needed to stay in separate rooms the night before our wedding to per her father. Hilarious since we've been living together for almost 2 years. This led to a massive argument about the wedding, the role of her dad in her life. I told her that up until a couple of months ago, it seemed like she couldn't have cared less about what her dad thought. But would it stop with the wedding? Would it continue on if we had children? Her excuse was that she was ruining her dream wedding and it was contingent on appeasing her father. She didn't understand why I couldn't compromise and get her the extra cash to get her the wedding she had always dreamed of. So I told her, "I'm not ready to get married if this is the stance you're going to take with your father," and that did not go over well. The yelling started and things started being thrown at me. So I left. I called my buddy and went to his place. He gladly let me come over. I've got tons of missed calls from her. Some texts ranging from "I miss you" Let's talk it out to you're an abuser trying to separate me from my family. I just honestly don't know where this behavior is coming from. It's like my fiancé has been taken over by some bridezilla that only cares about having a perfect wedding. I'm just taking time to think about everything and what I want to do next. I'll maybe update again after this. But for now, things aren't looking too great for the future of our relationship. Just trying to keep my head above water. Reminder: do not comment on the original posts or contact the original poster. I am not the original poster. This is a repost. So I asked, anything else your dad wants for our wedding? Quote, and she treats this like a serious question instead of a trap or sarcasm. I can't even. The amount of people that view weddings just as photo ops or a big perfect party is astounding to me. ETA. Because I see the same comments on the responses. I'm not saying that a wedding shouldn't be a big perfect party. I'm saying that the people that are so obsessed with the idea of the party to a point where they start straining relationships with their loved ones or even breaking the engagement are unfathomable to me. Throwing things maybe he dodged a bullet. That's not really what I'd call normal behavior. People are on their best behavior until the ring goes on. I want us to vacation with mom and dad. I want to name our son after dad. I want to sleep in separate rooms. Like mom and dad. Weird how she equates not wanting her father to control every aspect of their wedding to Oop wants to separate her from her family. And then to cry abuse after being violent herself. I hope my dude sees the writing on the wall. In 200 PT block letters. I've got tons of missed calls from her. Some texts ranging from, I miss you. Let's talk it out to, you're an abuser trying to separate me from my family. That's automatic, never getting back together nor marrying your ass for love bombing and being delusional AF calling me an abuser. I bet her views, political and otherwise, align more closely with her dad's than he thinks. I bet it's one of those things where they act like all of their values align with yours. But as soon as the vows come they flip the crazy switch. I think once the smoke clears, he'll find out she is just like her dad. She got the ring so now she doesn't have to wear the mask. He needs to run. Otherwise there will always be 3 people in this relationship. Without his permission. She threw stuff at him BC she wasn't going to get extra money from daddy and he is the abuser? When people show you their true self, believe them. At the beginning I was just thinking, come on it's easy she wants you to ask so just do it. I guess I'm naive that it would only be the beginning. When someone else shows you who they are the first time, believe them. She obviously was always going to put Op below her father and probably the rest of the family. I have heard from some people that your bio family is the most important family you'll ever have. And that is okay if you genuinely believe that. If you do, you need to also find someone who will prioritize their family above you all the time. That is an inherent incompatibility. I personally couldn't be with someone who would put their family above me. I've always put my husband above my family and he's put me above his. But if you want to put your bio family above your spouse, you need to find someone who is either going to do the same to you or is okay not being that important in your life. Otherwise it will lead to resentment, fights, and possibly abuse. Oop dodged a life of low-level aggravation with this. The line about, is there anything else your dad would like for our wedding? Was inspired, and while snarky, was exactly right to start the avalanche while Oop had time to get the hell out of the way. Good thing she showed Op who she was before they got married. Her dad sounds like my old neighbor. Told him I was selling my place to move in with my now husband. He asked what my dad thought. Dude, I don't care what my dad thinks. My house. She's in competition with her sisters for dad affections. Her sister's husband did it. Feels like she wants to outdo them. People caring more about the wedding than the freaking marriage. Run. $10 says she actually shares the same views as her dad and it's all about to come out. I do kinda get wanting extra money and asking for the father's blessing for that. I also get wanting to honor family traditions like wanting to get married in a specific church or sleeping apart the night before. But it doesn't even sound like the fiancé wants to actually do these things because they're traditions. It sounds like she's just caving to her dad to avoid an argument. That's concerning. And the fact that she actually threw something at her fiancé is a massive red flag. Hope the oop runs.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epicaricast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.